Lights, camera, action.
Give people a few minutes to file in. By the way, before they show up, it's been a while since you and I have been live, right?
6 months, if not longer.
I've had many long, heartfelt conversations with your business partner, J.S. Garrett, and he has inspired me to show more solidarity with my fellow black magicians. And that is why I brought this solidarity cap.
Oh my. I did not know where we were going, but now I know where we're at. Now I know where we're at. Welcome in, bro. Welcome into the Brotherhood. Now you know how to join.
I always wondered why I always wondered why so many male Satanists were bald, but I finally found out.
Secret. It's a secret, at the highest levels of our cults, once you become bald, you've been initiated into the highest current possible, and everything you say and do is already true and badass. 100%. So thank you. Oh yeah, 100%.
Too much, your eyes turn yellow? Turns out it's the same thing with black magic.
Yeah, dude, those eyes are turned though, and I actually like. I do feel like you can tap into that type of energy, like when you're doing baneful magic, if you really encompass like what it's showing you of that rage and passion. And that's why I think Star Wars is so fucking cool. Plus, like future technology, like put that into the psyche of people, and then hopefully we can advance to that level of technology. But then again, our government is ridiculous. So how are we gonna team up for that?
Favorite part is a Sith. Their ideology is technically different from Satanism, and I wouldn't agree with it in real life, but they're awesome fucking villains.
Some are so chaotic that they just want to kill and destroy, and like that's all it is. And other ones, like Palpatine, have underlying long-term goals that make big, massive change. And I think that that right there is a Sith thing to meditate on because when we're doing black magic, sometimes we get too hasty and we want to change like this. But then if you're gonna have to deal with that any drawback or anything, and also putting you in a comparable position, then the spirits are going to look out for you and have it time out in a better way. And then you're able to do more towards your bigger journey. And that's also kind of why I feel like when you have like a fire purpose on like what you're going after, then the small things in between, like going towards your bigger goal. If like, let's say you want to be in a relationship or something, and you're doing love magic, it's not working. Well, that's probably because that's not supposed to happen. And you're supposed to stay forward on your path towards your big objectives and not put this weight, ball, and chain on yourself, limiting where you're at. And that could be with anything. That could be an addiction. That could be a stupid dead end job and whatever it may be. But yeah, dude, the Sith mentality long term versus passionate destruction being compromised. Nope. And that's my tangent about that.
Long-term goal I had was using this bald cap to fuck with you. I should meditate on that too.
Got me. When you said solidarity, you just sat there with nothing, and I was like, okay, I'm not fully sure. I feel like something's gonna happen here. And then you pull out a bald cap, dude. Like, dude, we were compromised, guys. Like, they found out what it takes, dude. Everyone retreat, dude. Damn. Oh, dude, we do got. Yeah, yeah, that's the thing, though. Then what's going on there? Then we're in a cult, under a cult, within a cult, about a cult. You know what I'm saying? Do you know I'm following? Cool. Let's check this out. We got people up in here. What's up, everyone? Just yeah, a little bit. All right, what's going on, T man? Egg nice. He does camera.
Cursed all their enemies in one right. That oh, you have actual lightsabers.
I do. No, I definitely do. I had a Jedi Knight. You know what? That person might have picked up on the group right that happened last year because that's what we did. Is the group right out in Utah? It was that. So you might have maybe picked up on that. Maybe you signed up for it. Hopefully you signed up for it because that was insane. That was probably the coolest thing I could have been a part of, and seeing JS just destroying the object that we were putting everything into was so fucking cool. Like, no one planned on that, and it happened. He broke the idol. Like, it was the coolest thing in the world. It was like one of those, like, you plan out for the ritual, but in the middle of it, the spirits are like, "Fuck that last part. Do this." It was a movie scene to say the least. So maybe they picked up on that.
We so when I was in Utah, we also did a group curse right. Like Sean could have picked up on that. He's very much a live stream regular. Like he's at all my streams. I swear to God.
True, dude. Because even your attention that you put on any social media, like your psychic energy is going to that, like that person. Like you could even like see digital tarot cards, and you're still connecting to that reader digitally, Digimon digital world. You know what I'm saying, dude? Like,
I never liked Pokemon. Well, I mean, I liked it a little bit, but Digimon was way cooler. And some reason it doesn't exist anymore, which is bullshit.
I'm an armadillo. Now I transformed into a teddy bear with machine guns. Now I transformed into an Eiffel Tower with missile launchers. Like, don't mess with me. Like. I didn't know that little thing was gonna turn into a fucking jet fighter, but here we are.
Any Pokemon, okay? They have machine guns and they're dragons. You see that one fucking
Yeah.
old extended universe Sith were cooler than the new extended universe Sith, and that is accurate. Starkiller.
Yo.
You can't compete with that's the coolest character in the entire show.
Yeah, that's alright. People playing Digimon, that's turn. Have you, have you worked with any Egyptian gods? And if so, what are some of your favorite ones? That's something I've been reading a little bit into, and I wanted to ask you, dude, because 'cause you've been around.
Um she's very much a death goddess. Like she's a spawn of the primordial chaos. She's a standout for sure. Um in addition to her, there's Amon. Well, he's in the Goetia too. So he's got that crossover element. His son, Konsu, is also awesome. He's good for strength, integrity, psychic ability, stuff like that. Oh, Egyptian gods usually don't like blood.
Wow. I have blood on a sigil to an Egyptian god. I didn't get Why is that? Is there a certain feeling that you got when you worked with certain of them, and they were just like, "Don't do that," or is it due to like the Egyptian pantheon, like mythology, like there people were against that?
Only, but obviously, like if you do use blood, they won't be mad. It's just, to my understanding, that's not how they prefer. You know?
Well, we'll say the one I'm working with right now. I'm not gonna say their name yet, but it's it's putting instead of like doing a working towards like an objective, it's more of a working towards my inner spiritual temple. And that's just made some stuff really reflect out more intensely than even like a money ritual, just like internal and seeing things differently. And it actually really has baffled me working in the Egyptian pantheon because besides one of these spirits, Wajit's the other one who people can turn and see Duchess Bune. And with getting money or just feeling protection or building that psychic vision, that is a definite awesome spirit to tap in with for sure. Um, that's intense. And you still haven't gotten a Radionics box yet, have you? Damn, you've never even tried Radionics. I thought you did. Fuck, dude. Yeah, I've been so I got this new temple and like to set up all my altars with like different radionic like clusters of boxes for different shit and then like different statues like they just feel like powerhouses all over the place and the broadcaster something that's really cool, and I'm just gonna plug this right here. Uh, right now, if you guys go on jsgarrett.net, you'll see the adversarial amulets that are for sale. They just went up probably like 15 minutes ago, 20 minutes ago, and they're really fucking badass. They have Satan's energy, Lucifer's energy, Arima, Arimon's energy. Can't believe I can say that and y- to be able to feel that energy wherever you were going without bringing it with you, a way you could do that is with a broadcaster. You could get, and this could be a fucking any stone that you have. If you put that on the box and put yourself on the box and turn on that broadcaster, you're going to be encompassing your whole entire auric field and energy with whatever that is you're empowering. So whether it's an amulet, whether it was a stone to help your psychic senses or whatever it is, you can then overlay yourself with that. And it's got like an antenna and shit on it, but yeah, just that technology in and of itself is super fucking dope. And that's what I'm excited to be getting and testing out with the Juggernaut pendant that's gonna come out in two months or so. But yeah, the other pendant has dropped, and that thing is badass as shit. And each one has like a different shape to it, and some are copper, some are silver. And so you just pick what number you want, order it, and yeah, we'll get it sent out to you. But yeah, dude, from just working with Byron and all of his pendants he's been making and all of his boxes and stuff, it's really been a badass experience to just keep growing on this spiritual path with these different technologies to be able to interface and add to everything that I do. Like you saying you haven't even seen a radionics box just makes me like shit my pants, dude, because I'm like, dude, I am like living off of radionics. Like I'm just like a part of the machines, dude. Like that's how I love it so much.
Almost all of the magicians who I respect most use radionics. I'm just the one dude who has not hopped on that train, but all the best practitioners I know seem to fucking like it.
shit happen regardless and everything, dude. But I know it just amplifies stuff. But just through all the stuff that you've had to go through and been able to build on the WordPress and to different books, being able to contribute to and shit, dude. Like your magic and just like everything that you've been doing, it shows, man, and like it's some cool shit. So
Putting myself down for not trying the radionics thing. I was just, yeah,
I get it. They can be expensive too.
I have no idea how much this costs. I assume you're correct.
They definitely got something to it. I'd love the War Machine too, just doing like a baneful right and throwing something on that, dude, and just like being like, all right, that's just an added bonus to it and rock it with that. But yeah, I've not actually done a massive rite where I've called different spirits and different pantheons for like a massive working along those lines. I never like to cross different, energies into each other, but I know that's what I'm gonna be doing tonight. So I'll let you know how that goes. But
Broadly speaking, it's not a good idea to combine pantheons. There is a time and a place for it. If the spirits say, "Hey, for this ritual, you're going to summon Satan, Cthulhu, and Michael," then you do it. But outside of like those very specific situations, it's usually not a great idea. I'm guessing you already know that though. It's a rare occasion.
painful feelings, I'm like, yeah, yeah. But I don't personally like with angels and stuff. I have no problem working with them, but you know, there is a little stigma with it. Now, Raphael is a different spirit altogether. I'm just like Raphael's a badass. Like, is always shows up healing, works great with Marbos, and I just every time I do a healing thing, it's both of those spirits, and then if there's some other spirit I want to add in, maybe one that helps out with your spiritual defenses, just to see if there's anything on you, and then do a red ribbon spell, which I had a crazy experience recently with a red ribbon where I was tying it, doing the knots and all that. And then when I went to go burn it, I burned it with other things. As like I'm walking away from the fire, I hear a spirit. I forget which spirit it was, but it's like keep an eye on that fire. And I'm like, okay. And then I'm walking around, and all of a sudden I find out on the ground that red ribbon. I was like, holy shit. And then the fire goes out. So I get the fire all prepped again, and right when I put it in and I put the ribbon in there, it was an explosion of fire and then no fire at all. So it was like the thing vanished into thin air. It was fucking crazy. But yeah, that's definitely something that you gotta do.
Theodora asked, "Are these sideburns real?" Mine are. His are not. His are. His are just ass track.
Yeah, I've been copy and pasting, copy and paste for a while now. So yeah, they're ass burns, ass burns. No, they're real. It stopped growing up here, but it grows right here, and it grows right here too. So that's all. We gotta let it grow, baby. Let it grow.
Into that at all.
I don't give a shit, dude. Uh, I know you were, dude. I fucking know. Trying to cut down on physical tools. I do have an incense burner, obsidian mirror, grail cup, a fuck ton of candles, and more obsidian for the altar, a bunch of stainless steel, reusable seals. That's fucking good. The end goal is to make using a mind palace a normal thing to me so that I'm not depending on the tools too often. And I can see that, John Ka, I think I said your name right. Hope I did. I can understand that. Like, there are times where it's like you actually don't even have the time to do the ritual, and to me, that's just something as simple as in if I'm sitting in my car, like, just placing my hands together like this, focusing in on that spirit and just like what you do with a prayer or whatever, speak that energy to that spirit, and that's a way to still do the ritual without having all the candles and incense and all that. I do believe that can make it like extremely potent and powerful, especially for your visual experiences during the ritual to encompass that, and then maybe to have sounds and some lights and all that to empower it. But I've definitely sat in my car, opened the sigil, and stared at it and put my intent in it for 5 minutes, and then walked in, and then the ritual I just did took place 5 minutes later of the result I was looking for. So I just do think it comes down to your intent and all that. But yeah,
Um, Really quick, simple spells like the ones you did in your car with your sigil, those work, but that does not, you already know this. But for the audience, super quick, simple spells work, and super fancy, time consuming spells also work. Just because quick spells work doesn't invalidate the value of long ones or vice versa.
exactly. It's just also there is an element to, as I was speaking about the whole Sith thing and time and all that. Like, it doesn't matter if I have 100 boxes on for something, do a chicken sacrifice, and put my blood on a sigil and burn it. Sometimes it takes the spell as long as it's gonna fucking take to work and happen. So it's doesn't matter how much fucking plethora and surge of energy you throw in. If it's gonna take 3 months for it to manifest, it's gonna take it 3 months to manifest. Now, maybe it will speed it up a month possible or whatever, but that's something too I've learned on this path, like, divine timing and patience is huge with things, but also don't be lazy, like, you gotta be doing the work. It's like with King Paimon, like, you want something, keep working towards it over and over, putting your time and effort into it, and you'll eventually get it, but, like, see that in a 5-year, 10-year span for a bigger idea and bigger things, and go after that, and that's just something that's huge with magic, as well as even, dude, your spiritual development. I mean, dude, it's not like I woke up one day and was like, "Oh, my senses have awoken. Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens." Like, no, like, it was over time, and it was also over, like, knowledge and stuff I was reading and taking in things and doing meditation, so, just understand, give yourself that divine time, but don't fucking half-ass.
Why it's dangerous to summon your own ghost from the future. Because you're playing with death. That's death. You're, yeah, it's a possible. It's one of my end goals, but have not tried it and probably won't anytime soon. That will require
I wouldn't wanna do that. Oh, I wouldn't wanna do that. I mean, if it was a transmission from your higher self from the future, I think that would be, instead of just saying ghost, but higher self, then it could be you 30 years from then. And, like, you can send transmissions to yourself from the past, I believe. So, hypothetically, since time is not linear, it is already ever present. It's just a dimension that we go into. You could tap into that of your higher self, but yeah, I wouldn't go about saying ghosts. Hell, yeah, I want to do that.
be summoning my own ghost. Not kidding. It is an actual goal I have.
Dude, that's crazy. That's awesome. You know how that goes.
My forehead sweat, so I'm going to take it off.
Happens too, dude. It's a big boy job, dude. It's a good boy job. Oh, one thing I've always wanted to ask you guys, because I figure you might know an alternative. Is there any way to replace candles? Can electronic lights replace candles, or are there no replacements?
Heat is fire, so if it burns, it can replace candles.
I It's kinda like you're on your phone, you could see fire and you could look into that and everything, but, like, fire is the actual gateway, blood and water, so, I mean, you could use water instead of doing that, but I feel like you do see the portal, like, you are literally opening a portal, and that fire is that Eye of Siren, or whatever the fuck his name is, looking at you. So Siron, dude, I'm sorry, I saw the B fell. Stop, stay on.
Water, blood, and fire, and smoke. Those are all very good mechanisms to use for summoning spirits. If you can't bring fire, you can still use water. You can still use blood. You can still use smoke. Not the end of the world, but if you have the chance to use fire,
Essentially, it's like a layered cake. Like, if you can do everything, that's gonna add more to the entire operation in and of itself. So, if you can do it, and don't feel down about feeling like you're using it as a crutch. I don't feel like you'd be using it as a crutch because it's a way for you to express the artistic values and desires you have inside and a physical way to manifest it by doing things physically. So I don't think that there's any problem with you doing that. Like, that doesn't make you a weak magician or anything like that. Now, some people would be like, isn't the overall objective of the magic operation to hit the level where you can make things appear like that? Yeah, that is a huge thing to it. But I mean, shit, it's going to take a while. So you might as well do all the pieces you need to and not feel shitty if you have to, cut a corner or do whatever you need. Personally,
yeah, I mean, I agree. Karina is asking us about Asmodeus. Have any experience with him?
Asmodee. Okay. Um, Two things I've really learned huge from King Asmodeus. The first thing was understanding that we all have this monstrous form within us, or what you could call the beast, whatever you want to call it, and how civil we are and such. We can all have this mask on in a sense and go out into the world and, oh, everything's all good. And like, I like to be upbeat and super positive about things. Like, that's just naturally how I am. But it's since this world is a war of minds, war of spirit, and all these other things, you also have to become a monster at times and not give a fuck. So if you need to go into do a destructive ritual, or you want to do something selfish and say "fuck you," I'm taking that. Well, that shit's going around you all the time, and if you don't get yourself with that energy, infuse it with your other side, then you are going to be shoved around and you will have this inner rage that's dormant within you that you're not able to express outwardly. And King Asmodeus showed me like there is a monster inside and you need to be able to fucking let it out, which gave me the second point, which is using your emotions fully as much as you can. Now, I know apartments, it can be rough and all that, or if you have roommates, but yelling and screaming and letting everything fucking out insanely really pumps up and juices up rituals. So, those are the two big main things that King Asmodeus has shown me, and he's awesome.
In my experience, Asmodeus is very much good for any type of power or strength that you want to develop. So if you want to be more psychic, more physically fit, more wealthy, any type of power or strength, Asmodeus can help you build it. And he's damn good for curse work. Um, in the Cliffoth, he rules the realm of Golachab. The name Golachab means burning ones of God. In that realm, you will find the most dangerous succubi and incubi in the entire fucking Cliffoth. I have not fucked a single one or tried to. Those to harm others and no other reason. So, just for future reference, demons don't refer to each other as succubi or incubi. Those are just human terms we use. You know, they know each other by name.
That's crazy. I know two of their names and their sigils, and they're really badass. I've not never been able to have the full on experience like that yet. But I've definitely worked with them, but that wasn't for anything along the lines of baneful stuff. But damn, dude, he's blew my mind a little bit. So thank you, thank you.
Uh, by the way, Sean says that he senses intense energy from your side of the screen.
It could be my temple itself because I had some friends over yesterday and I let them come in the room and they had to leave pretty quickly because they're like, dude, that is a lot of energy going on inside of that room, and there is. It's a power surge. I'm telling you. There's over 35 boxes where I'm at right now, and there's probably about 35 operations on right now. So it's a pulse beam. So yeah.
Make intense energy for sure.
Heard a story. I don't know if I can say the person's name or not, but they were using Radionics, so they didn't have their house sell. So when people were walking in because he was renting, he would set different boxes for just like intimidating energies that make people not want to sell and to get anxiety. And yeah, he had someone enter his house, and they were like a Reiki practitioner. And when they got to that room, they were like, he told them like, yeah, these are my operations I've been doing with radionics. And this lady's like, is that why I have so much anxiety? It was like flipping out, and then like left and didn't want to buy the property. So yeah, they definitely got a pulsation to it. I guess I'm just used to it. But wow, 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 wow. It's like a bass beat.
Differently. What I heard was dude's fucking home was haunted. And I can testify that it was haunted because I was there. I witnessed poltergeist activity. Well, he was not around. So yeah, I can guarantee what I heard was a Reiki master, self-proclaimed, came in to look at the house. He said, "Hey, this bitch is a Reiki master. I hate those. Poltergeist, please fuck with her." That's the version I heard. Either way, fuck that Reiki master.
Of the house, kept feeling it. And then when I would come to the area, it was clear, and then it would go to the other side. And like I ended up using an EMF detector and went to this really hot spot. And I turned it on. I said, "Are the spirits here?" "Yes, sir." Like, why are you here?" "Servants." And then I was like, have you guys been moving around?" "Yes. Can you please leave us alone, sir? Please, please, please." Like, kept saying that type of shit, and I was like, "See, oh, like what's going on?" And like all I could feel within was all the spirits that were with me had been going to these haunted locations that I go to, and they always fucking knock everything all the way away from me, dude. Like they all do not want to be around me at fucking all. Like it's been bizarre. So I'm still gonna keep going to stuff and checking it out, but I've noticed that, and that's why it's like when you open yourself on up on the astral plane, a light does come off of you. So like when you're becoming more awakened, that's another shit like archonic energy and all this other bullshit can like kind of go at you because it doesn't want you to become so awakened. But working with these spirits, it's like you're a beam that's a light that's on that also has a fucking legions of armies with you, and it's like, yeah, we're gonna stand over here.
Ever heard of that happening? Like shit just moves to the other side of the fucking house whenever you're
Going in somewhere, dude. Yeah, it's not till I like have to like say if there's something here, speak now. Like I have to be very fucking like adamant about it, and then they'll speak up. Otherwise, they're just moving away. Like I went to a studio to just record music, and he had a ghost in his hallway. And when I would go there, it would immediately stop. But when I wasn't there, it fucking would kick back up and shit. So I ended up like going there and I was like, "Why are you here?" And it just said like has to be. I was like, "Well, you're done messing with the studio here, and if you do anything else, I'm gonna bring open some sigils and I'm gonna open them, and then we're gonna really have a huge issue. So you stay over there and not mess with anything over here." And after saying that, it's been 4 months, and the guy's like, "Yeah, there's no problems here anymore. Like it's all good." And I'm like, "Damn, dude. All right. Well, one down, man. One down." If you had a Sharpie and you did this, and if I did it too, we would basically have a dickhead. Or be the guy, or be those guys from Star Wars. I'll grab the saxophone. Do, 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 do. You could be the elephant, dude, smacking the keyboard and shit, dude. Like that, we're good. We'll be the bald posse, bald dickhead posse.
my little bald cap, so I look like Krillin from Dragon Ball Z.
Put an eyeball here, and then I'm gonna call myself TN. Or I could get rid of the chops and call myself Napa. But oh, I get that. Yeah. I've never seen, you know what? I guess I haven't seen how tall you are. You what, 5'6"? Okay, I guess I'll say I'm only 3 inches taller. That's not that much.
I'm technically 2 inches shorter than the average man, whereas JS, he's 5'11", so he's 2 inches taller than average.
Made an inch bigger. Yeah, I just he's just giving it a hard time.
Open someone else's third eye.
Melik, I tried to contact Moloch, but got redirected to him. I don't know anything about that spirit.
They're both Clifothic gods of fire who were worshipped by pagans. They're they aren't identical, but they're pretty tight knit. Like they're siblings, even in their original religion.
What is he good to help you out with?
Vampirism and literature. Uh, Advanced alchemy. Those are the main things that come to mind.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I feel like doing attack things with them. Planetary energy. Uh, I just get their sigil, and then I'll just like type in like a planet sigil or whatever, and then I'll draw it out. And then if there's something else I want to add with it, like a candle or an offering or whatever it is, I just place it there, and then just call forth that energy. If it has a special incantation I see or I know about for a certain planet, I'll add that. But for the most part, I just make it simple. I just get the sigil out and call forth the energy and then open up a gateway.
After blowing up an eternal candle. Um, Much easier than you think. Just apologize sincerely and then burn like an incense offering for him. Like it's you're overthinking it.
Yeah, working with I've worked with Anubis before, and I think that he would be really good to work with if you wanted to do some deep ancestry work. I didn't do that with him, but I would imagine that you could definitely hop into that. And also getting rid of, kind of like Belial in a sense, getting rid of any hidden chains you have on yourself, so then you can become a new resurrected self after working with them.
I have tried Thoth, and those two are close. Right, like when Thoth got killed. Nope, nope, nope. That's Osiris. Fuck. Thoth is good for ancestor magic, despite what you would think. Okay, I had a brain fart, and we're going to act like it did not happen. Good.
Some experience with when I was doing some moves and shit, shifting up everything. Or I worked with Prince Siri and asked for just like a smooth transition from location. And I ended up having everything lined up like to where things I was able to like get things pre-purchased for the place I'm at, be able to get like a super easy like at getting everything in, having enough stuff for all my altars, and like literally making the process so smooth. So when people when you're like doing like a transfer, whether you're like we're moving jobs or you're moving your location, a house, an apartment, or whatever, I would definitely, even honestly, I feel like if I was going on a vacation and I was to go fly or whatever, not having 7 layovers, um, that would be a great spirit to work with to give you smooth travel and return with everything. So, hail Prince Siri. Satanchi is spirits. Definitely, yeah, I would say in my top 5. Um, I know that I know one of your videos or something I asked you, you mentioned it transfers back to a female. But when I work with them, I get this like commanding chief that helps me push my body to where I'm able to have more vigor and stamina as well as like gaining more muscle and such. Um, that is a spirit that's really helped me out on my physical vessel's journey for sure. So yeah, I love working with him.
Connected more with her female aspect. Not that the male aspect isn't real. He's very real. Um, First time I met her, I was trying to figure out how to align my energy with the planet's basically The planets were putting energy on me that was not harmonizing correctly. So some voice, I didn't know what. He's like, "Yo, clutch a quartz crystal, just focus, feel them align. Just do that. Let it happen." And I followed the instructions. Once I was finished, I was like, "Hey, by the way, random voice, who are you?" And she's like, "Satanichia." And then she left. That was my first meeting. I just heard a voice, followed the instructions.
Yeah, that it's definitely a very commanding energy that really just puts you in the line of what the fuck you need to do. Hey, what's up, Behemoth X? Thank you for hopping in here. We appreciate it. Always love your stuff. That wasn't a hat. There we go. All right, cool. Now we're good. Good. Now we're all back. Whew. I won't say anything about that. Oh, being more Frozen video. Oh, Cryro would definitely say that. Frozen. Ice, ice, baby. That's all I can say. If you guys have any questions, please foam down there. Hit us. Hit us hard. Give us some zingers.
Of that, Luzbel.
Mm. I've never worked at a Loa either that I am aware of. That's one thing I've always like I think it would be super cool to do, but I also feel like there's another aspect where it's kind of like the succubi incubi physical half in, half out of this world. And I feel like Leloa, you'd see them like running around all the time, dude. Like, like at the corner of your eye, and then like shit would just get ridiculous. I feel like it'd be like a whirlwind of energy just running around your kitchen cabinets. He did, dude. He did. He had to make an atonement, and we appreciate the atonement with Puffin.
The cemetery opened themselves up to the dead, and the chat moved.
Had an Agua head with me. I don't know what that is.
Shit about Ifa or voodoo, so I could be very wrong.
What has been the most confusing spirit you have encountered? Encountered. Uh, Now confusing in the sense of what the fuck's going on was a like negative nag I had on me for 3 years when I was like a young adult and I didn't know what I was fucking doing and I had something on me and all the shit would break near me. I couldn't sleep. I just feel like I was watched. People that were around me that went to sleep would have dreams of this like undead girl and it was like out of fear or the grudge. Like it was like really fucked. And it took me like 3 years to figure out it was there. So that was like the most confusing along the sense of I don't know what the fuck's going on to figuring it out. But confusing to the sense of what the fuck is going on here with this ritual I'm doing when I haven't seen any results. Ooh, man. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, there's certain I don't know, I would say at the beginning, one of my practices with magic, like, during that time I had that shit, I was doing a lot of love spells back then, and things would, like, synchronistically show me that things were I was gonna get with like, date someone or whatever, and then it didn't happen, and then it would just kinda become chaotic mess, and so I was really confused working that way, and that was with Salos. But at the end of the whole thing, he ended up saying, like, because like, there was, like, a whole thing where I was like, "If I can date this girl, what do I need to do?" He said, "Quit cigarettes and, you'll be dating her," and I was like, "Sweet." So I quit cigarettes, and 2 weeks later, I'm like, "Why are we not dating?" He's like, "'Cause you don't love yourself, you're not taking care of yourself, and you need to quit smoking cigarettes, so you're welcome." And I was like, "Fuck, dude." But, like, that was confusing for me. What about you, man?
Well, last time I was visiting JS and Siren, JS said, "Hey, we should all summon Valak together before we go to the creek, because Valak is known for making snakes appear, and we could ask to see a bunch of cool snakes." So we summoned Valak together. Some reason JS and Siren did not see it, did not feel it. I'm like, "Hey, I saw Valak when we summoned her. She appeared as a woman with black hair." There's like, "Valak is not recorded as a woman. Also, we didn't see or hear shit. What are you talking about?" And then we went to the creek. Want to know how many snakes we saw? Not one. Not one. Not a single snake. And what happened instead is Valak took all three of us on an adventure that lasted months. Like, none of us had any idea what Valak was trying to do. Jesse actually got mad at Valak. It was like, "Yo, what the fuck is wrong with this demon?" I'm like, I don't know what the demon's either. I don't know what he's doing either. But trust me, he's a demon. So whatever it's doing is good. He's like, "Bullshit." I'm like, "It's a demon." And we all wound up where we needed to be. My adventure lasted months. In fact, I got led on two adventures, largely unrelated. At no point in time did I understand what Valak's end goal was. Now I do, and I like it.
Manifest the way it needed to manifest. That thing on you're that I'm sorry, that thing on your head, bro, like, you look like a whole new you look like a whole new person. I'm like, "Alright." Dude, that's I know, Jesse ended up getting a snake because of it. It ended up appearing down the line because of that working, and he still has that snake, I believe. Damn. Let's see here. Is there a curse to make a man impotent? Oh, impotent. Oh, damn.
Probably.
Energy out of a vampire box and make that your intent. I mean, I could see that too. Damn.
There was there was one time I didn't mean to.
I feel like that's not big enough. You gotta be like you would have to be like a really messed up person for that type of shit. Like something that and really mess with you, like doing something really twisted. And like that's something too, I'll say I've learned. There's times when you go into battle and you be smart. I'm gonna tie it back with the Sith shit. I don't give a fuck. And you have to strike and you have to enter battle. That's just a part of the life. But sometimes it's stupid to go throw yourself out there and try to start a battle or go up against something that you don't need to when you could do it differently and still get the same result. And I noticed that big with when you look at the global different things that are going on, whether it was the election or whatever it may be, and you want to get yourself involved with that type of shit, you have to also be wary that there are people that are like hired in these different massive global conglomerate shit and these people and even some celebrities. I've felt this and like just like astral projecting and seeing them and like seeing their energy. And there's definitely witchcraft going on behind the scenes for sure. So before you like want to just like throw something negative at some celebrity because you're jealous of them or some shit, don't fucking do that unless you do your research and like your astral projection on that shit because some might have some kickback. That's all I'm gonna say.
Witch talk is very different from the satanic community. It's it's basically the Special Olympics of the online left. It's what it is. That so they all want to post about how they're gonna find Trump and curse Trump and they're gonna curse whoever else, whichever Republicans they don't, whichever Republicans they're paying attention to at the time. And it's dumb. There was a shitload of practitioners who cursed Trump when he first got elected. You may have noticed that that did nothing at all. That's because there are also right wing occultists who see their posts and say, hey, I'm going to fuck up your spell. Yeah, I keep warning them about that. They don't listen, man. They're like, yeah, I'm going to.
Even if you don't fucking post it, you're still psychically there. Like you better have a fucking camouflage with Bael, and then even that might not be fucking enough. Like doing that type of shit. Like I've heard people that have done some shit that's pretty crazy. I've witnessed on the astral plane, and I use the psionic helmet because it really helped me attune into it. But I was doing that visual, and I'm not gonna say who it was, but when I saw them, I literally saw like this tank of people sitting like in a chair, like a water tank, where they're all like connected in the back of their head, and it's like people sitting in a circle of like I would call them fucking like if it was like a if I was like a virus going into a program, it'd be like that fucking software or whatever. Like these agents right there, and they're there, and like it will ping you, like you will be pinged, and so you got to definitely keep your shit together and have protections up and all that. And that's the thing about magic too, man. Like yeah, you can do it for some small shit here and there, but you can also say an incantation out of the Necronomicon that you didn't know what it meant, and next thing you know, you're fucking having a whole entire shit show happening in your area. Like, you gotta have some fucking protection. And this person, bro, punished me with Goddess Lilith. We gotta get back up. We gotta get that person out of here, dude. It's just backup 14.
It's not just me either. Everyone in Witch Talk has blocked him on at least 5 accounts. This has been happening for a year.
out with the algorithm, so thank you. Like on one note, but like the other note is like you need to quit spamming that. Like maybe spam "Have a great day" like twice, and then cut it out. But this right here, like, why don't you just summon Lilith yourself? Like that's my question. Like, quit asking everyone to do this and go do it yourself, and then you can get punished. I wouldn't
Yeah,
want to. I wouldn't do that shit, dude. She'll whoop your ass, dude. She's different. She's got a different type of energy. That's all I'm gonna say.
yeah, so that person has been doing that to every occult creator ever for years, including like anonymous people who comment on my shit. They got the same messages from that fucking kid.
Cause you got
Literally
a fan.
two women I know were like, "Yo, I want to fuck with this guy." So they approached him thinking he was serious about going through with that shit. According to both of them, he backed out instantly. Like the second they gave him the time of day. He's not he's not serious, man. He's not serious. He just wants to sexually harass the entire occult community.
Tough one. Do whatever you fucking want. Because seriously, I wouldn't be spamming, dude. Honestly, you think about all the people like who you don't want to mess with, and like honestly, people doing black magic, like that's the last thing you want to fucking do. Why would you do that? Like you gotta think. You gotta think. Like that's not smart. Hey, Virtus needed in okay. Hey, is Virtus needed for initiation in the left-hand path? I do not know that. I don't think you need anything to initiate you into the left-hand path. Just fuck you just do it. You do it yourself.
Word veritas used in an occult context. Is that a thing? Have you heard of it?
No, First I thought it might sound like Vishnu, but I was like, "That's not Vishnu. That
Yeah,
is
no.
not Vishnu."
Also, you definitely don't need Vishnu to initiate into the left-hand path.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. My first spirit I worked with was Salos. And in one sense, I felt like that was like an initiation in, but it's more like a warm greetings in because it said he was the nicest of the goetic spirits. So I was like, up, just dip my toe in that way. And then it was like, a good experience. And then I was like, now I'll work with Belial. And then it was like holy fuck, dude. That first time I called him, like, I've never left a ritual feeling so pathetic my entire life, dude. Like, that first
Mm.
time whooped my ass. I would say the first 2 times whooped my ass. Now it doesn't feel like that so much because I have a rapport and there's a different type of energy, but those first 2 times really put me into my fucking place. So, I will say, like, he's not to be faint of heart at all. Punish Me 13 is now up in the
Yeah,
chat.
just saw that shit.
Oh shit, dude.
This
Ver
was He's been doing this to everyone for a year.
I don't know
It's
how
been a
you can have
year.
time. I really don't know how anyone could have time to do that, bro. Like, I'm so busy, I don't know how people have time to just, like, waste their time, bro. Like, besides right now in the live chat by him placing all those comments adding to an algorithm, that is the only thing positive. Everything else is negative. What are you doing? What are you doing? Veratas is a spirit known for initiation in Arcadian black magic who initiated Beelzebub in the left-hand path.
Oh,
Well,
yeah, you don't
yeah,
yeah, you don't need her for initiation. You can basically initiate with any demons you want.
yeah. Beelzebub's awesome too.
Yes, he
For
is.
For granted greater vision on things, I would say, the biggest thing I learned from him was that this whole, like, concept of, like, long-term shit, like, is definitely him and King Paimon, but very much mapping out my 5-year, 10-year goals, I would definitely say is a lot to do with Beelzebub's vision granting and helping you build that foresight and that psychic vision, and then to be able to put that into play. So if you're looking for, maybe locking into the future that you want, I would say doing meditations with Beelzebub would be a great way of doing that. And of course, protection as well, because there's millions of these bugs that are legions of his, and I feel like they're all such a hive mind, and just having some of those bugs around you definitely is not a bad thing.
While you were talking. Back up 12.
Or 14. When offering alcohol to spirits, what's the best way to do it and how to dispose of it after? I mean, just put it in a glass or open a can of beer, put it there. You can open up an alcoholic drink, take the bottle off. Like, do you do anything special in particular, or just place it there, basically?
For the spirit, but there's no like special required technique. It's like you're giving that to the spirit. If you want to pour it on the ground, put it on your altar, that doesn't really make a difference.
Key up that does add. I'm just kidding, but I'm just kidding. Yeah. Oh, me too. Do you think that there will be open contact with extraterrestrial races anytime soon? I think it's already happening, personally.
No, and holy fuck, that guy's back.
Just know this person's signing out to sign back in, to type in your stream and type it in. That is damn, man. What a life.
Okay, it has to be. He gets off on harassment specifically. Okay, and I don't understand why. But I believe that humans are already communicating with extraterrestrials. As for public shit that everyone sees out in the open on the news, I don't think that will happen anytime soon. But like people have been communicating with extraterrestrials for a long ass time, including me a
Um,
few times.
That's actually something I wanna hear about, and, I used the universal circle and sat outside underneath the stars, and there was an alien race, I'm not gonna say which one in particular, but I was calling them forth, asking for their sign in the sky, and I shit you not, there was a light directly above me going in an infinity like, over and over, infinity, and I felt their energy and then, like, showing their presence to me, and then when, like, it felt like I almost was gonna get abducted, honestly, it had that type of feeling, and then it's just bam, went away, so that was a crazy ass experience, but dude, what happened with yours? Did you have a gray alien in your room?
Yes.
Oh, really? What the fuck?
Yeah, so do you know what the in between is?
Is it kinda like, no, man, just tell me, and I'm sorry to say this, but Backup 10 is up
I
right now.
saw, I already banned him.
Okay, cool. But no, I do not know much about the in between. At least I don't think.
So the in between, it's right between the astral plane and the physical plane. Sometimes people call it the sub astral plane, but most spirits, including Satan, Lucifer, whoever, most spirits can't manifest right between the astral and physical. Most things that manifest there, other than shadow people, are incarnate beings. That's where you usually see extraterrestrials. So, if you've been a witch for a long time and you see an extraterrestrial for the first time in your life, it often feels like you're witnessing the most powerful entity you've ever encountered, even though you aren't, because it's closer to the physical world than usual, you know? Um, I'm sure you have got some basic familiarity with star seeds, conspiracy theories, tall whites, reptilians, those guys. All of those are real, but most of the stereotypes and conspiracy theories about them are bullshit. Um, Extraterrestrials tend to be kind of harsh. Um, they're sort of a need to know. They can combine technology with magic in ways far more complicated than radionics. I can't make sense of it, but I've seen it. Um, Generally speaking, powerful extraterrestrials usually want to help humans evolve. It's the weaker ones that want to see us fail. Pleiadians are a good one to start with. Same with the Arcturians. Reptilians are a lot more intense.
Cultures talk about sort of reptilians and have that on their cosmological, the mythology or whatever, like the carvings, like there are giants as well as dragons in different civilizations all around the world in different locations. So I do feel like before the flood occurred, because I do believe a flood did happen, uh, that there was more of that type of activity in the physical. And when it was destroyed, it then went to that level right there. But yeah, aliens, man, that's one thing that I don't really like unless I was with a group of black magicians and like I went out to a summit of like a mountain and some shit, like and then wanted to call for something. Yeah, that would be different than me doing it in like my bedroom, for instance. Like I had my one of my best friends, a sister, she had one night, like she woke up and looked at the end of her bed and it was a gray sitting there just staring at her and then she hid underneath the covers and then like she like undid them an hour later and it was still there and then one put it over herself and then by the morning it was gone. That type of shit I do not want. That type of shit I do not want. Like I am cool with the poetic dreams or fucking working with spirits and then the cracks, the symbology and the synchronicities and that magical environment. I love that. But an extraterrestrial, especially when you're talking about that technology and shit, like people have said when they see something, they automatically freeze up and they can't do anything. Like that could be a fucking tech. And then what are you gonna do? Like then you're fucking, you know what I mean? Like you're Mr. Freeze, and it's just no
Yeah.
fucking good.
Reptilians exist on 8 dimensions simultaneously. They can turn from, yeah, they can turn from physical to spiritual, visible to invisible anytime they want, but only when they want to. They're probably the most powerful incarnate beings in the entire universe. Yeah.
Demons to those reptilians, or only some of them, or would you find them to be something completely different? Yeah, that's what I feel too.
exist on 8 dimensions simultaneously. I'm told that even demons don't understand the geometry of that. Yeah.
And then that whole entire story with the Enuma Elish and all that, just all that type of stuff, man. Like, I mean, that kind of shows kind of aliens, and then us possibly being genetically modified creatures that got our evolution even quicker. I mean, I do think that there's definitely a possibility that there's other habitable planets all around everywhere, and this isn't just one place you can reincarnate into. And I think that's kind of a part of the whole suppression, and they want to keep us all hidden. But then again, some people think we're on a flat Earth with nothing else around us, and it's just a prison. So I'm not. Besides the moon, I've astral projected to the moon, and the moon itself seems more like a fucking metal Death Star than it fucking does an actual like asteroid.
If I can,
Certain classifications. Hmm. My dad is.
but they aren't distinguishable by any type of physical characteristic or anything like that. You'll kind of have to figure them out one by one.
Be horrible and bad or anything like that. Or if I work with these demons, everyone's unique and different. You can't like all if you say like are all humans bad? Like no, there's some great ones, but there's also some shitty ones. So it just comes down to individual and figuring it out that way. I wouldn't want to play Russian roulette with the lizards, quite frankly, but you know. Okay, well, that's good.
Angry when it realizes that you can see it, it's not your friend. Also, if you're ever around hostile aliens, just pray to Leviathan. Leviathan specifically. He'll clean that up. Oh, God damn it. He's back. I know.
Dude, this Ood Wig fire braided virgin radionics are fucking with the signals. Okay, I'm gonna say something about that.
I
Yes,
think he's joking.
no, but I'm just gonna say yes and no. Not for the signal here, but
Hmm.
when you see that there's even I forget what the thing in technology is called that the government has where they can I think it's called cloud seeding and they
Hmm.
seed different clouds to create rain. And that's actually a thing where the day before that Texas flood occurred, they were cloud seeding there, and the person gave too many clouds, and that was a part of why a ton of rain occurred. And then,
Hmm.
as you see, HARP, which has controlled the weather with different frequencies, is also taking place and being able to create shit. Because ever since HARP's been around, if you see how the weather's amplified, it's been absolutely more ridiculous because of that. That's why I think that's really what's going on versus global warming. I still think global warming is happening, but not to the level in which they're talking about because I believe it's this other shit going on. Radionics, I have been able to clear up the skies and it was supposed to rain. Easy. I think that's the easiest thing to fucking do. Make it not
Hmm.
rain. So that is technically messing with the signals. and even broadcasting, like with the broadcaster. I had a show here in town, and I was looking to get more advertisement for it. And so after I had done all my other pieces, there was like a certain rate of how many people were seeing my advertisement. When I turned on the broadcaster, it gave twice the amount of viewership. And nothing I changed other than that energy. It was being broadcasted outward for the subconscious of people to see the show and then learn about a show to get business. So radionics can fuck with signals, 100%.
Oh yeah. I think that I think that's all the questions we have. Oh wait,
Okay.
didn't you say you could only be here for an hour?
Yeah, I saw we went over an hour, but I wasn't gonna just cut it. I mean, like I could go for another 5 minutes. We can do that if you guys have any more questions you guys want to ask really quick.
If
Um,
y'all have more questions, spit them out. You have
spit them
five
out.
minutes.
Countdown. Do you know if there are
Yeah.
any pantheons mentioned in video games like Dungeons and Dragons are real, as well as realms mentioned at like Femoria or Planet Torel? Um, I mean, first off, like even like a Star Wars planet, like an entity within that, it has become an egregor, like an Ewok, for example, or even Darth Vader. You Superman, for instance, like, you could call forth any spirit that you want because it's been psychically empowered, so I think that that kinda goes with anything, and when it comes to, like, video games, you could do that with a character from a video game. I actually did that with the Master Key. I connected to Goku from Dragon Ball Z, and
Yeah.
I asked for his energy to be around me and for him to show me something. And then he was like, "All right, let's go for a run." And I'm going on a run. And like during the run, like I was like laughing and full of joy. And he was like, "Yeah, sometimes you get so focused on the goal in which you're trying to get to, and you're not having fun with the journey. You need to enjoy the training that you're doing and just have more fun with it." And like I took that principle and I've applied it to the rest of my life. So that helped me out tremendously. And so yeah, I think you can work with anything. Or, the new God of War game, or even the old ones. The Greek gods, all those gods obviously are real and they're video games.
Yeah, egregores freak me out, and I've never summoned a fictitious character. I don't know why. It just freaks me out, okay? I'm not comfortable with it. If actual Batman ever starts talking shit to me, I'm going directly the fuck back to Jesus, okay? Um,
That's actually funny, dude. I'm blown away that that actually kind of gives you a little bit of the icky feeling, bro. Like with all the spirits you've worked with, I would imagine that you'd be like, "Oh, that's no problem." You're like, "No, dude. If that plastic Goku peeks his head inside of my room while I'm sleeping, I swear
yeah,
to God, I swear to God, dude."
he's supposed to be in the television, okay? That's weird. Someone tried to
Cheers.
curse me by summoning characters from League of Legends. That is an actual thing that happened in my life.
Oh my God, dude. Oh, that's fucked, bro. That's fucked.
League of Legends.
That's
He
a that's
thought
a
the end of
two.
my story. That shit's a computer game. Why was that going to destroy me?
Because he was gonna make you addicted, spend all your hours on it till you couldn't pay for anything, and then you were living out of a trash can. He tried to get you, bro, but you said, "Fuck that shit."
He did try.
Um,
He did try. But
Imagine summoning Gordon
I'm
Ramsay. No, I'm good on that
no,
shit.
nope.
Fuck that. He'll be like, "What the fuck are you doing? You're using the air fryer. You're not doing any work." "Yeah, motherfucker, I just wanted to eat some food real quick." Dragon
He'd
DW.
be like, "You call this relocation?"
Yeah, you're right. Where's your passion? Where's your fucking he'd come in like King Asmodeus, like, where the fuck is your passion? This
Where are
guy
your robes? No.
this guy, Dragon DW11, any advice for strengthening your psychic gifts? Off the top of my head, I'm just gonna give another shout out to Beelzebub. Just having a sigil and asking for his assistance and then carrying that around and lighting a candle, asking for him to help you out with your psychic vision. That would be huge. Or Duchess Bune. She really helped me out too. I made her sigil on a aluminum foil, and then I called her forth, and she came forth, and she was smoking. That's all I'm gonna say. She was smoking.
Hell yeah. Um, Imagine seeing Goku's cut appear in your room at night battle. I don't get it. I think
Y-
that's the all the interesting questions we have.
Okay, man. Well, dude, thank you so much, chat, as well as UVK, for having me on, man. I really appreciate you shooting the shit with you, dude. This has been great.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Hell yeah, man. Everyone have a great ass night, and definitely check out those amulets on jsgarrett.net. They're gonna be
Oh, right.
dope.
Yeah, yeah. Talk about the amulets. I forgot to ask you about those.
Oh yeah, yeah. They just dropped right before this live went on, and they're the satanic adversarial pendant. There's copper ones, silver ones, and they all have a different creation to it. So if you go on the website, you can look at which one pendant you want, since they're all unique and different. And yeah, they're going to be really good if you want to tap into that adversarial current and help strengthen your energy bodies, as well as just help you overcome any obstacles in your life. So yeah, if you're interested in that, I think there's 21 for sale right now. So yeah, hit it up and let us know which one you want. So fuck yeah, thank you, and yeah, I hope we talk again soon, bro.
Ask earlier.
No, don't no worries at all, man. No worries at all. I appreciate it.